Okay, so I thought I'd explain the task ending in 5-5. So I've just reached the second checkpoint here, and the first thing you want to do is jump just after you roll into this spider. We're going to do one more roll than necessary here, because we want to waste 2 frames deliberately, and you want to jump over this spider and land just past it, and then roll and jump when you reach the right hand side of the propeller here. Now the reason we waste 2 frames is so that this spider is low enough to jump over it without bouncing off it, because we want to bounce off this second spider here instead. And you do a momentum bounce off the spider where you press 2 on the last possible frame to keep all your speed, because if you press 2 any earlier you'll hover and lose all your speed. And the height of this bounce matters a lot. So you want to bounce in such a way that DK is around half off screen here at the peak of his bounce. And you want to bounce as high as possible without entering the left corner of this cannon here. So if you enter the left corner, then you've bounced too high. Now the hover, you hover when DK's eyes are kind of aligned with the left corner of the cannon. And you hover as early as possible without entering the bottom corner of the cannon. So as you can see, the hitbox of the cannon is a lot smaller than it appears. And you should have Diddy pretty much fully inside the cannon here. And if done correctly, you'll grab onto this totem and you'll land on it. And then the next part's not too bad. You just jump between this cannon and this totem and land on the second of these 2 totems. And then you jump between this cannon and this totem. And the jump has to be slightly smaller than a max height jump. And then you land on this totem. Now this is a really precise landing. So if you land too far left, you'll be pushed off the left-hand side. If you land too far right, you'll be pushed off the right-hand side. You want to kind of aim for the very middle of it. And the push back you get will vary depending on where you land. So if you land slightly to the left, you'll get pushed back a lot, and it'll be a while before you can roll again. So you'll lose around 0.2 if you do that. And if you land kind of right in the middle, you'll get a pushback, but it'll be very small and you'll be able to roll immediately. But if you land slightly to the right, like I did here, you'll actually get pushed forward. And there's a very small window where you can roll before you get pushed and fall off the right-hand side. So you kind of just have to react accordingly depending on what sort of pushback you get. And then you want to jump as late as possible without bonking this totem here, as this will minimize the amount of time you spend hovering here, because hovering is obviously slower. And then you hover into this cannon, and that's about it. So yeah, hope this is helpful, lol.